Hello again. Y'all, this is going to be my last memory lane visit. If you've been following me, I've been sharing my experiences growing up in an occult family, being used as a ritual boy. And I feel like I've said enough. I've said a lot. I feel like I've made the point of the who's, the where's, the why's. And sometimes you just gotta let it go. So we're gonna do some looking in. This time I'm around 12, 13 years old, maybe 14. Puberty years. And it's my grandparents' 50th anniversary. It's a big time. All the family gets together. Mom, dad, brother, aunt, uncle, all three of the cousins, all together to celebrate. It's Saturday morning. Me and my brother are roughhousing, wrestling around, and I win, and he doesn't like it. You know, little boys play. He stomps off. Grandpa says something that stuck out to me that day. He goes, "Oh, well, don't worry," talking to my little brother. "You'll get your chance soon enough." I remember when he said that thinking, what's he mean by that? We'll fast forward. Later on that day, we end up going to the pastoral house. Grandpa was a pastor of a church out in Coffee County. And on the days before the Sunday morning service, oftentimes we would go and stay at the pastoral house because it was closer to the church. And so that's what we did. The whole family. Everybody. It was an old house next to a cow field. Little rural town. Maybe had one light. Maybe. Anyway, the evening comes on. It's starting to turn nighttime. We're all getting ready for bed. And I notice a shift in behavior. My oldest cousin was in the bathroom, and I noticed the other two cousins start hazing her. It's the only way I could really describe it. One opens the door, starts throwing stuff at her while she's on the toilet. At first I thought maybe it was like a game, you know? But then I started to pick up on the one who was in the bathroom, you know, the oldest one, the one that was like me. And she wasn't enjoying it. The other ones are laughing at her, throwing stuff at her. And my mom notices. And my mom notices that I notice. She yells at all of us. You guys better get to bed. Typical, you know. And eventually we all do go to bed. But that night, I end up coming to in the middle of the night. And what I come to I'm restrained. My head is in what is called a yoke, a wooden device that has my head and my hands restrained. I can only do this kind of movement. I can't look back. I can't see behind me. And there are two grown men on the other side holding on to handles of this yoke. And they're wearing black masks, pointed tops, and black robes, similar to that of what I described on my first ritual. I'm hearing cheering. There's people around. I hear something of like a master of ceremonies calling for an aspirant to come up. All of a sudden, I sense something behind me. Whoever's behind me, they're scared. I can sense that they're scared and they're young. I start to fight. I kick. I thrust. I fight as hard as I can. Because I sense that whoever's behind me isn't good. I'm fighting and I'm fighting and I'm fighting. And I'm giving these old men the run for their money. They're having a hard time holding on to little me. I'm kicking. One of them loses their cool and punches me in the head as hard as he can. He doesn't knock me out. Probably was his intention. But he dazed me. I saw stars. The other one looks at him as if, in a way, like, you shouldn't have did that. You messed up. And as I'm slouched, I feel the initiate behind me and the pressure. When he's done, I think to myself, well, at least that was over. I hear people cheering, yeah, woo, clapping. And then I hear the master of ceremonies go, Well, who else wants to ride the goat? And I think to myself, this is a nightmare. And by golly, I think everybody wanted a turn. I endure 2 more rides before blacking out. The next morning I wake up, my head hurts. And I'm wondering, what in the F did I just dream about? I hear my mom complaining, why do we have to wear blue? Why do we have to wear blue? And then I can overhear my aunt in the hall going, I don't like how that went last night. That went too far. He was too aware. He might remember. He's not gonna remember. Nevertheless, get up, go to church that morning, go through the service, and there's a big potluck for my grandparents because it's their 50th anniversary. We're all dressed up, all of us, wearing blue, except for a couple. Dad and Grandpa wearing different colors. And I remember them saying that a special photographer was coming in to take a picture for the paper. Anyway, we're at that potluck at the service ceremony for my grandparents for their 50th anniversary. And it comes time for the family photo. The special photographer came. And we all stand up for the photo. They get us an arrangement. But they do it in a odd order. They have my cousins and my aunt on one side. The 2 cousins. Just 2 of them. The ones that were throwing things at the other one in the bathroom. They're on one side, standing with my aunt. Grandparents in the middle. Dad behind them. And my little brother up front, kneeling. And then they have me, my mom, and the cousin that was getting stuff thrown at in the bathroom on the other side. The photographer goes, well, everybody, let's get ready. And she makes a odd suggestion. Instead of just taking the picture going cheese, she goes, all right, well, everybody get ready. Let's make sure if you want to do any cool put your hands in any cool way, make sure you do it. Come on. Calls out my cousin's name. Waits for him. Oh, nice. Nice sign, yeah. Waits for the other one. Oh, cool. She pretty much goes around for everybody, making sure they all put their hands where they need to go. It comes down to my turn. Okay, Matt. What do you want to do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I felt so confused. Like there was some kind of thing that I wasn't in on. And I see that picture today. I look so confused. I don't know what to do with my hands. As she looks, she waits. And then she looks surprised. A gasp. Probably because somebody behind me went like this and nodded, shook their head. Okay, well, everybody say cheese. Gets the picture. What did the hands mean? You know, we have several copies of that photo, but I hadn't seen one from the paper. And that's my last one, guys. I mean, there's more. I have a lot more. And maybe in the future I'll share, but I've said enough. It's not easy sharing this. You know, a lot of people have said, well, the Bible says to forgive. Yeah, it does. And believe it or not, I do forgive them. My family, I forgive y'all. But just because I forgive y'all doesn't mean I can let you back in my life. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean I can let you around my little boy. And because I forgive you, doesn't mean I'll stay silent. People say, well, we just gotta trust God. That He'll make things right. And yeah, that's true. I do trust God. That's why I'm saying something about it. God's everywhere. And God's in everyone. And I'm not trusting in God if I'm the only one bearing this pain, holding the shame. I'm passing the potato. Believe it or not, I'm not going to chase for justice. I don't want anything. God's given me so much. He's protected me through all that. And then look at around me. I have a beautiful family, a wonderful son. I'm alive. I'm not doing this for views, subscribers, money. I'm already as wealthy as I can be. So yeah, I am trusting in God. I trust God to deliver His perfect will. Whatever that may be. Now that I've given this to Him, I'm trusting Him to deliver His perfect will. Do you trust God? Those who would say, oh, well, you need to stay silent about this kind of stuff. I would say, do you trust God? Do you trust God to deliver judgment perfectly by His will. You know, that something funny. I had a sister. I never got to meet her. She was born a year before me. Her name was Amanda. She died within a year of her birth. No, I never got to meet her in the 3D. When I stayed with my uncle for a few weeks, he took me to a lodge one time. I don't think he quite realized my role in the group yet. He took me to a lodge to see if they would take me in the group. And they said, yeah, we would, but we got to get permission from his father first. And I remember on the way home after that lodge visit, he calls Dad. And Dad kind of acts like he's not really about it in his way. And my uncle calls his wife, my aunt, after that call. And he's just confused. I don't know why he doesn't want him in. Unless he's scapegoating him. But I thought that's what Amanda was for. My aunt goes, says his name. He's like and she mentions my cousin, the one like me. And she says, you just don't understand how it works. We need to listen to what his father wants. Why would my uncle think that my sister was the scapegoat? I'm the scapegoat. I tread the path. And I'm back. God protected me. That's why I say this message. That's why I tell my story. I know this happens to others. I'm not the only one. If you've heard any of my message, know that God will protect you just as He has protected me. I will never stop saying that. I will never never not give Him the credit. I walked the scapegoat path. I climbed the mountain and I saw the sun. And I've returned. Like I said, guys, this is the last one. I'm still gonna do videos. I don't know exactly what the focus of the channel will be. Probably things I do with my son and music. I like to sing and write songs. I'll probably teach spiritual lessons. This was my journey. I was made for it. And I understand that now. So I do forgive them. And I forgive everyone else who is involved. They served their purpose. Have a good day, guys.